Okay, so we're still having the resistance area on the CL at the designated spot of 49, 46 area, 48. If that holds as resistance, which it's doing a pretty darn good job, we will see our 48.88 to the downside. The market has already been down there, but not quite that far at this time. So we'll keep an eye on that. As I had mentioned when I first started, although it seems that it didn't come across, it is counter trend at this point. We, we will get a new candle in about 30 seconds here, and then we'll have our inventory numbers coming out in less than 2 minutes after that. The market's developing a little more than resistance here at our 49.57 showing there on the chart. Okay, here we are. About 20 seconds left to go for the numbers to come out. We have moving average alignment to the upside, and we'll see if targets to the upside get met here. And we have targets to the downside, 48.88. There'll be slippage involved. You'll have little chance to get out. Slippage can help give you an extra few ticks also, providing you're in the pecking order that we talk about in the room on a daily basis. Resistance, and we're aiming for 48.88 and beyond. If we can get it, we'd like to see 88 here. There we are, 88. I suggest you lock in some money here. See how much more we can get. We'll just pull this over, change the color. Our 4898 was also a target earlier, and that's our 38% to the downside. And I'll just put an ellipse around that. There we go. A little hard to see. Here we go. We have an arrow down here to our 48.76, and we'd like to see our 61 on the larger time frame. So we're going to advance that. Just 1 second. So we've added to the 161. We extended the smaller time frame across to the edge of the chart here, and we'll look for this here to get retested, maybe even within this here candle. There's another minute and a half of this candle. The countdown timer is in the center of the screen, and we're going to move the whole chart up the hill, and we'll see. We do expect trouble here at 48.76 area, and the market is giving us trouble where we expect it. We'll see a pullback to approximately the bottom of this here tip here, 48.86, and 88 was our target to lock in that money. Your next target down is our larger time frame 61. We don't expect it to be a straight line, and we're going to extend this diagonal down, roughly right there. And we'll advance the chart to the right hand side to see what lines up. So that pretty well lines up here, and time be about another hour away. We could see a revisit of here if we get down to 61 and our 70% areas. Exhaustion to take place roughly at 48.76, and we can safely say that is happening right now. The pullback to the upside is also happening as we had described roughly. And we're going to see if this here diagonal yellow can hold as some sort of resistance area. Market often retests the 38 on the left-hand side of your chart, and it's doing that right now. Okay, there's still a little over a minute and a half to go on this candle. Put the center of the chart. The diagonal we were talking about, this yellow one, is somewhat holding as a resistance area to allow that market to retreat too far. We are extended quite a piece away from the EMA. It is crossed to the downside once again. What we'd like to see is the 38% here hold at 48.98 and 48.96 areas. We'd like to see that hold as a resistance to give us our larger time frame targets to the downside. Now that may or may not happen, so if we get stopped out of the market, we will be out of the market. Okay, if you were able to hang on to a runner, the runner is looking pretty darn good. We'd like to be able to retest this here 48.76, and it looks like they're going to do that. Then we want to retest it from the bottom side once they crash down through this low. Now, they haven't made it that far, so we'd be presumptuous to think that for 100% that it's going to go there. However, let's look at what they did retest. They have retested, look left, 48.98. I know the 8 is a little hard to see. Let me see if I can fix that. And in the meantime, on the right-hand side, that's where our ellipse is to designate. That was the retest that we were looking for, and we received that. Now we'll see if we can take out this low here. My name is Dale Elliott, and we do this on a regular basis every day. So this is the low we're looking for the market to take out. They've retested the high that we wanted to see, roughly a little higher than we had hoped, but only by about 8 ticks, so not the end of the world. Looking for this low to be taken out, and here's the retest that we were looking for at 48.76. So that part's all good. It's nice if the market cooperates, but we don't always get everything we need. Okay, we've taken out that low that we were talking about, and here's our 50. Whoop, I'm going a little fast here. Our next targets are 76, and that's where we want to take some money. We'll see if we can get down there. So it's 48.53. They've taken that out. Lots of momentum on this trade. Do not try to counter trend this momentum to the downside. And we'll run the chart up the hill just a little bit so you can see the next money off target. And that's down here. As the market approaches there, it sometimes slows down and it'll come almost to it. So we'd look for something that would look like, instead of 48.25, maybe 48.26 or 27. And you can see it's hesitating already at 33. So it's starting to fake out a lot of people. Some people are choking this here trade already. And they are undoubtedly planning to leave money on the table. We try not to do that. We get into the pecking order. So we're one of the first ones filled. There we are. Okay, now if you have a runner, hang on. You're going to manage the runner. That should pay all your commissions and all that kind of stuff. It's worth every bit as much as your primary. So we just lock it in and hang on. We know that once we get to our 48.25, and the market has reached 48.25, we also know that we have about 2 minutes left of this candle. Now, if the bulls can push that all the way back up into this area and retest the 61.8 at 48.53 right here. Now put a little arrow on there. I'm going to steal this, maybe this one. And since it's a different color, and that should highlight that area that we're talking about. So I'll move this ellipse so you can see the number that we were talking about earlier at 48.98. Wanted to see that retested, and it was. Once it was retested and proven to be resistance, that allowed everything to flow to our targets. So it's been a great morning. the numbers came out and accelerated it to targets. And that's what mostly we look for. A news event or something like that. You're going to trade your plan. News comes out, boom. It should accelerate you to your targets. It's the whole idea of it anyways. Okay, so here's our retest of this area and right here. We don't mind the market retest of 48.76, and we know we're extended a long ways from our EMA. So we'll see if the market can regain some of that or take away what it has gained here. If the market takes that all away and starts taking out this high right here, then we would look at getting stopped out. Okay, so we've been successfully stopped out of this market with any runners that were left. If you had a chance to turn your runner around, what you'd be looking at is right here, that this here was retested and confirmed. And we'll zoom in on that candle and then we'll call it a day. So you can see this is your 61 and it's retested right to the 61 right here where we put that arrow to highlight the 61 right there. Okay. So this here was a nice sign to lock in that money and or reverse your runner if you had one. And here we are in the room. We talked about the market coming back to our EMA. Till next time, trade well, my friends.